Hey everyone, this is Yelson,
And Gigi,
and this is the first episode of
Signs of the Times.
Yes.
Our brand new episode. Oh, not our brand new episode. Our brand new podcast. You can already tell I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
This is brand new for us.
Yep.
But we're so excited. This is something new and something we've been talking about for a while.
For quite a while, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you honestly have been wanting to do this for quite a while.
It's been on my mind to do something like this, just to put our thoughts out there. There's just so much out there that maybe we can encourage someone.
Yeah, it all started off with just the conversations that me and Gigi would be having. And we get into very deep and interesting conversations, and we were thinking like, whoa, this actually might be cool to just share. And there are things that some people are afraid to share, afraid to talk about, but I do also think those type of things should be out there to talk about.
Right.
But yeah,
because there's a lot of opinions out there, and I'm not saying that our opinion is always correct or the way we think is always correct, but for the most part I think we have valid opinions. And if you look, people always say you can search anything up and you're gonna get an answer and you're gonna get the answer that you want. Yeah. So like I said, we don't always have the right answers. And I'm not saying that we have the answers, but we believe that we have a good mindset and with a Christian perspective to see things in a way that we as Christians should see.
Sure.
And as we grow and we mature, those things start to shift in a good way. But yeah, we just wanted to create that space for ourselves to put some good out there. There's just a lot of negativity out there. And if we can encourage someone in any way, shape, or form, then we've completed what our goal was.
For sure.
That's what we're aiming for. And like you said, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's totally been a while. On the other hand, I did want to make some type of content. I just didn't know where to start. Luckily,
we're new.
Yes, yeah. Luckily, you know where to start. So here we are. Now.
Yeah, it's so funny because to me, I was like, I think the best way to go would be a podcast because at first I was like, it's just our voices. And then I shared my idea with Yelson. He was like, oh, it'd be so cool if we got video. And I was like, oh man. And I'm not very comfortable in front of a camera.
Me neither.
I'm shaking right now. And it's just the two of us.
She loves to be behind the camera though.
Yeah, but not in front of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're so excited and we can't wait to see where this goes. And we don't know how long we're going to do it. It's a journey that we feel that we should start and explore. And hopefully we help someone out someday.
Right. Yeah.
But today, we've already mentioned it before, we're going to talk about social media. And what our thoughts are on social media. I'm on social media. If it were up to my human desire, I'd probably be on every social media platform.
Oh, for sure.
Yelson's not on social media. Yelson's on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's not. He has accounts out there. He's not on social media. He doesn't use it. So sometimes I'll post something and I'll tag him just so that it's tagged on his profile. And I'm thinking like, people will be like, man, her husband doesn't even like her picture.
I know. I know.
Yes, but tell us why you're not on social media.
Well, I'm not on social media because every time I get on, every time I get on it, I get too consumed by it. I feel like I always have to keep up with every single thing that is out. I'm just too busy scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I just think it wasn't healthy at the end.
And how long have you been off?
So it's kind of weird because I'd be on and off of it. I guess there was a period of time where I was off of it for I would say, this might be wrong, but 3 years, I guess.
3 years off social media? That's off Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, and then I got back on it because I thought I was in a place where I was like, okay, I can handle it. I just want to get Instagram back, and just for the sake of it, just because I just wanted to connect with people.
While we were dating,
Mm-hmm.
you weren't on social media for the longest time.
I was.
You actually deleted your accounts.
I deleted. Yep.
I think Instagram. You deleted Instagram.
I deleted Instagram. So, well, I had it up for quite a while. I wasn't on it, and then I just thought, like, no, I need to actually delete it because I will find myself just hopping back on it just to check something, and then get back on that entire loop of just getting distracted again.
It's funny because a lot of Christians do this where they'll go on social media fast.
Yeah.
And I think the longest we've gone, I think the standard time that we do media fast is a month.
Yeah.
I think like the shortest is like 2 weeks.
Correct.
But the longest that we do like as a group is a month. And you feel so good, but as soon as it's over, people are like, as soon as it's like, yeah, the media fast is over, people are like back on it instantly, you know? And it's like, yeah, but I'm going to take it slow. Yep. I'm going to like restrict my time. And then 3 hours later, there's no restrictions. You're on every page. You're liking everything. That's
true.
You're nonstop, you know? But it's crazy because everything's on social media. And that's another point why we're doing this is because everything is on social media. And if we want to push something out, you have to go through social media.
You probably heard a lot of Christian content always talking about social media. And I think it is always great for every Christian to always bring, when any Christian content creator to always bring up social media. Because it is such a vital thing to not get yourself consumed by media. And I love hearing when Christians talk about this. Yeah. And it's not cliche to talk about social media and the dangers of it. It is great that we continue to talk about this so that the generation before us can hear this now. Because I'm sure that the next generation could hear this and know and can be aware of what they can run into and the obstacles that they may face whenever they get into social media. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because you hear it all the time. It's not cliche. It is so important that we are to talk about it.
Yeah, but the sad thing is that as much as we talk about it, and it's not even as young adults that it's talked about, their parents talk about it, pastors talk about it, parents, anyone can talk about it. They don't, and it's the same thing with every generation. It's just the age that they're in. But no matter how much you try to make it a point that, hey, you need to be careful, hey, whatever's on there's not real, they always fall for it.
Sure, yeah.
To the point where they don't know how to cope with it, to manage what they've exposed themselves to. Back then, I think social media became very, very popular when we were like middle school.
Yeah. Facebook
or like MySpace, but it just wasn't as relevant to everyone. But worst thing that could happen was you watching a bad movie or pornography. And on social media now, it affects you left and right. And not to mention pornography, because pornography isn't the same as it was back then. You know, nudity is not the same. Like, the definition of nudity has changed. And on social media, that's all that's on there, you know, depending on, you know, there was even like a challenge where people would go back and look at their partners or significant others explore page. I don't know if you remember that, because there's so much junk on there. But going back to just these like school age kids, and they fall for all this stuff that, you know, their life is terrible. And I know you hear this so much, and it sounds so silly when you hear it, but it's so true. Someone can see something on TikTok and be like, oh my gosh, I need this face cream. And it's not even true. Right now, the crazy thing that's going on, which I would have never expected, I don't know if you know the store Sephora. It's a makeup store.
We walk by it at the malls.
So the issue right now is with 10-year-olds. 10-year-olds are overtaking these stores. And I didn't know about this.
It's crazy.
I heard of this online, and to me, it's crazy for a 10-year-old to be going to a makeup store, buying skin, you know, products, which your skin is like so fragile at that age. You don't want to do anything to it.
It's crazy, bro.
Not just that, but like makeup as well. Like, it's so crazy where kids' minds are nowadays, where it's like, when I was 10, I was probably wearing like a Snoopy shirt running around in the backyard. You know, and it's like now 10-year-olds are like 16-year-olds. And it's scary.
It is scary. It is scary.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to see, but it's not that it's good. One of my the funniest things that I see on social media is celebrity pastors.
Celebrity pastors.
And I know you love those.
Yes. It really, really, I'll be honest, it irritates me when I see a lot of like celebrity pastors just trying to act different in a way to just stand out. You know, it's very annoying to just hear celebrity pastors just trying to preach a sermon that is kind of, how do I put it, very like the most diluted and very sugar-coated sermons that I have like ever heard. And it's just to, you know, get the attention all to themselves, wearing these outrageous outfits, acting like they're going to the most important award show ever, and
most important to them.
Very. It's old pastors just trying to get hip with the times. With like, and it's very embarrassing. It's just very embarrassing. It's upsetting. It's very upsetting. They're just trying their very best to get with the times and to attract this generation.
Yeah, an example. What is his name? William
Murphy.
So, William Murphy has a church in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And for New Year's Eve,
the New Year's Eve service,
he had secular music playing, and they were like pretty much having a party at the altar.
It was very strange. You know, they're playing secular music. It was trying to tie into his little mini sermon he was giving. It was
like stand up, or I forget what it was called.
Yeah.
But there was people in the church that were not really into it at the beginning. And he started the song. Some people were like already like dancing and everything. Yep. Some people were not getting into it. And he said on the platform, "So are y'all too holy for me?"
He's like, oh, y'all too. No, y'all are too saved for me.
Y'all are too saved for me.
You're trying to bring everyone down to his level.
No, the more like that, time just passes and passes, the crazier it just gets. Mm-hmm. And it's weird to see, but at the same time, like, it repeats itself.
Yeah.
But the time, like, it repeats itself, but the time it comes back around, it's like 5 times worse. And then it goes back around, it's 5 times worse. Yeah. So it's crazy to see. Like, there's always been, like, I mean, look at the Bible. There's always been false teachers, false prophets, but now, like, the more time that passes along and along, it just gets worse. When I first saw it, I couldn't, like, the phrase that he said, like, oh, y'all are too saved for me. Mm-hmm. And he later went on to an interview and he said that he wanted that church service to look like everyone else's Monday through Saturday.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So they set, like, a standard for their church.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for just people that are watching, there's so many people watching. Exactly. And that's the crazy part.
It's upsetting because I also saw a post where this lady, this woman, she went to the church instead of the nightclub.
Oh, yeah. That's from the same service.
Yeah, from the same service. She went to the service instead of the nightclub. And when she experienced that the shenanigans, let's call it the shenanigans, she later on tweeted about it and said, like, hey, I was about to go to the nightclub, but instead I went to church, but I still felt like I was at the nightclub.
But she was saying it in a bad way.
In a bad way. Yeah. And it was her first time going to a church service. Mm-hmm. That being her first time, and for her noticing that it is wrong, it says a lot.
Right. But it's just so sad that someone went to church.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm going to start the new year off in church. They pulled up to church and they're like, huh?
No.
What is this? And it's crazy for the world to look at a church and be like, y'all are wild.
Yeah, even the world knows it.
And that's why a lot of people have, that impression of Christians now because of social media.
Yeah.
There's so much influence.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but there's a lot of influence in social media. And like I said before, you don't know how many people are watching, but they are.
They're watching.
And they follow everything that people say. They will buy what you tell them to buy. They'll go where you tell them to go. This is the part I love about social media. If I'm going somewhere, I'm going to look for it on Instagram.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go to a new cafe, I'm going to look for it on Instagram. If I'm going to a city, I will just look for that city just to see what's there. Mm-hmm. So it's great, but just how you can find good things, you can find bad things. I wasn't allowed on social media till I was 18. And so when I got on social media, it was like, oh my, a brand new world. But I'm so glad because even at 18, your mind is still so immature.
Yeah.
Who knows how much more different my life would have gone if I was exposed to the craziness at 14.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. So I'm 26, and to me, from what I've been raised from, is you're on social media when you're 18, 17, 18, high school, whatever. I think it's so weird when I see kids on social, like, actual accounts. Yeah. And there's so many. There's kid influencers.
That's scary. That sounds scary.
There's kids that do get ready with me's.
No way.
Yes. So like you've seen them around. Like adults will be like, get ready with me for whatever. Yeah. And they're like, I'm wearing this, doing their makeup, whatever.
Yeah.
There's 10-year-olds doing that. And they're telling stories about a kid in class and they're like beating their face. I've not
seen that. That's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah. There's little girls. And it blows my mind. The world is so perverted. I would have to be crazy to expose my kid, boy or girl, expose them to the eyes of this world.
Yeah, 100%.
But
100%.
yeah, it's wild.
I know that on YouTube, it is the whole prankster stuff, it is such a big thing in YouTube right now. And it's catching the attention of a lot of young guys. And they want to reenact it, like, so bad. They watch a video, they're like, oh, I want to do this.
But half the time, it's not even a prank.
But
pranks aren't the same.
So when I say prank, so let me reiterate. Prank, people pranking today is
it's just being disrespectful.
Disrespecting people. Disrespecting people out in public. Kids see this today and think, wow, this is so cool. I want to do the same thing. So they will go out and do exactly just that, record it, make a fool out of themselves, disrespect whoever is in the video, and then post it out on the internet. And that's such a big thing for kids today, that they see these things and they want to do it.
Yeah. Kids see that and they just learn to be disrespectful and they think it's funny.
Yeah.
And it's all goes back to social media.
Yep.
To social media. They're just exposed to it too early. There's, like I said, there's good and there's bad. And depending what what you look for, there's nothing wrong with social media. It's your consumption that is the problem. Everything in moderation. If you could be off social media, just be off social media.
Yeah.
There's really no need. I had a conversation with a friend during the media fast, and I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I'm on a social media fast right now. And she's like, oh, like, how is it? Like, how do you feel? And I'm like, well, I feel like I have more time.
Yeah.
There's more time to, talk, to read. I don't read. I should read more than I do. The only thing I read right now is the Bible. That's it. And
it's always a good thing.
During the social media fast, I was reading other books.
Yes.
Like,
that was awesome.
Like, Yeltsin would come home and I was reading a book.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, what are you doing?
Like, you know how to
weirdo?
Read? Like, kinda.
Yeah.
Or if I have to, like, they're like, read this, I'll read it. Or my devotional.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm not buying a book.
Right.
I'm not picking up a book.
Man, yeah, just to go back on that whole social media fast that our church did was so needed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it wasn't just a church,
crazy.
It was a district.
Yeah. Oh, our district. Our district. We were newlyweds, and so I guess it was the next month we started that social media fast.
Yes.
And boy, we needed it so bad.
So side note, if you're newlywed or about to get married, think about putting that month aside with no social media.
Yes.
It was honestly...
Y'all will grow.
It's great. Like, especially...
Together.
Settling in together. And we're going a different direction here. But...
Yes.
Settling in once you're married is already hard enough. And if you don't face it, you're going to be dealing with that for a minute.
Sure.
Because I think for us, it would have been so much easier, at least for me. It would have been so much easier for me to just be on social media instead of dealing with, oh my gosh, I'm not used to living with this person. Yeah. So it is such a distraction. It honestly numbs you. Right. And it's like some people will compare it to a drug. Yeah. Because you will, and this is with any media in general, not just social media. Yeah. People will run to media just because they don't want to feel what they're feeling. And in a world where there's so much mental health issues, it's crazy how much is also pushed. Yeah. People will be like, oh, they'll get on their story and be like, I'm gonna take a break from social media. I'll be back,
guys.
Hit
me up on my phone. Yeah, don't DM me or anything.
And then like in 3 days they're like, hey guys.
Posting a video.
They're just over whatever they were going over.
Yeah.
But
hey, man.
Yeah.
You do you.
You do you. There's nothing.
We're not talking about anyone specifically. Right.
Yeah, but
whoever you is.
Yeah.
do you,
do you, and do better.
Just wanting to go back to the youth and social media. So when I got saved, I was still going through the process, and this was about like 2015 to 16. Mm-hmm. I was still going through the process of just like, you know, trying to live a holy life, and then still having trouble letting go of the old life, mm-hmm. you know, the old friends, the old ways and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I had an Instagram, and it was a modeling account.
Oh,
this is so embarrassing.
Used to model.
A modeling account. I had a friend take pictures of me in my cool, awesome outfits mm-hmm. and shoes. So he took pictures of me. I would post them online, and I would think I was that guy.
Yeah.
I thought I was it. I was getting a big head. Mm-hmm. I was just wanting all the attention. Just to be straight up honest with everyone, like, it made me feel good.
Right.
It made me feel like I was on top of the world, and I liked all the attention.
And you were getting attention, which wasn't helpful.
Yeah. So I was really, really getting obsessive over it. But then, you know, like I said, I was recently just saved at that time. But the more I just kept seeking God and His will for my life. Eventually, I just started to just develop these convictions and slowly realize, like, man, this is kind of ruining me. Mm-hmm. Like, this whole Christian thing is not about me. It's not about me. Mm-hmm. I had to make a big decision. I deleted the account. Mm-hmm. It was such a drastic thing because, like, 1 week I was just posting on the modeling account, and then the next week I deleted it.
You weren't on anything.
No, because I was so wrapped up in my head. I was just wanting to get with the trends and be the first person to do a certain thing and to look a certain way to meet the standards of just the world.
Yeah.
But the Lord was just working on my heart. Mm-hmm. And so I just knew, like, no, like, eventually I had to get rid of it because I wanted to represent Christ so bad. I had a lot of friends, a lot of high school friends that were looking at me and knew that I was going a different path.
Right.
That I was wanting to follow God. Mm-hmm. So I had that in mind. I was like, man, I'm just not looking. I feel like a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm just wanting to represent myself.
Yeah, like the world's trends, it's never going to lead you in a good path.
Yeah.
As much as it seems very innocent or it's just fun or let's do this. At the end of the day, it's really just distracting you.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, at the age that these people are in, you're really focused in school. You're either still in high school or you're starting college or you're just starting a job. And then as a student, your time is very, very much consumed in your studies. Mm-hmm. And then whenever you take a break, it's social media. Mm-hmm. And then what time is left for you to grow or mature spiritually? And you really don't find that time because it does take time. We have a friend, he creates a lot of content. He does a lot. That's his job, is content. And he does a great job. And we've had this conversation with him before where it's like, there's way too much content out there, and it's not good. There's some very educational stuff, but it's making yourself known in that world.
Correct.
Because it's 2024 and people live online.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So this is a topic that we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
And this most likely will not be the last time we talk about it.
Of course.
But it's, this is our first episode. And we'd like to come to you with this very relevant topic that we all deal with on the daily. And we're not saying that social media is bad in general. What you do, it's the same thing.
It all depends how you use it.
Right. Social media can't harm you if you're not using it incorrectly. So we just encourage everyone to be intentional with how they use these tools, because they are tools and they're very useful.
Yeah.
It just depends. That's the crazy thing. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be like, this will be helpful for everybody, and then we got a hold of it and we just ruined it. If there's any site that people can upload videos or pictures, it's ruined. But yeah. So yeah, we'll probably be talking about this again in the future.
Sure.
So be encouraged to be good online. Take some time to get off your phone. Yeah. And I know we're on their phone right now.
Yeah. Listen
to this and then get off your phone.
Yep.
Thank you. And thank you for listening to our first episode. Like we said, our first episode. So be patient with us. And we're both shaking in our chairs right now. But we're so excited and we're so glad you're listening.
Yep.
And we won't see you. You will hear us. You will
see us.
On YouTube, you'll see us. But you'll hear us in the next episode. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. And again, this is Signs of the Times. Catch us again in 2 weeks. Well, we drop an episode bi-weekly.
Every other Friday.
But yeah. All right, everybody.